Welcome back, guys. Today I am in just off of downtown Decatur at a really cool section of town. We have like this block here. We got about a 2-block span. So I'm at the Wabash Depot Antique Center. The Wabash Depot is actually an old train depot. It's on the National Historical Register for landmark, historical landmark. You know, it's an antique mall. That's what it is. It's a really cool place, though. Cool building. And we have, as you hear the trains going by, like train depot, you know. So it's a really cool place. I really like to stop by periodically and just check out and look for stuff. We also have several flea markets just along the way here, you know, just down the road. So you can pretty much park your car, walk about a 2-block span, and just check out several places. I really feel like if you're not from Decatur, Illinois, but you like flea markets and antique malls and stuff, that this is an area that's worth coming to. We have several more antique malls in town and flea markets, but like literally you can come here and spend, you know, half a day just in this 2 blocks. Park your car and just check this place out, especially if it's a Saturday. We got a few places that are only open on the weekend. We're gonna check some of these out today if they'll let us. So yeah, I'm also going to specifically be focusing, since it is just about to become October, we're gonna look for some classic Halloween decorations. We're gonna see if we find anything old in there today that is Halloween oriented. So let's go see what's going on. So I told you guys I was gonna look for Halloween decorations and stuff today. And I came in and right in the front door we had some, so it didn't take me long at all to find any. Of course, what caught my eye is, you know, I was born in '82, so I actually had to look at these. These are McDonald's Halloween toys from 1998, which one kind of scares me that 98 is an antique now, but that was 24 years ago. And I don't remember these specific ones, but I remember McDonald's giving out toys like this in the past, so definitely kind of caught my attention. Got Betty Boop. All kinds of cool stuff.
Nad's come in and see if she hadn't even planned yet.
No, she's full of blues.
Okay.
She fell this one.
She graduated. So.
That Pink Panther phone is pretty cool. So I was talking to a gentleman who works here today, and he used to work here when this was a true train depot, and I got a ton of information from him. And this picture really represents what this place once looked like. So this is the building we're currently in. And of course there's a train depot, tons of traffic next door, and I'll go back outside later and show you, but oh, I forgot. There was another major train corporation, Illinois Pacific? I can't remember. But he was telling me how there was another train here, train depot, and they had up to 70 passenger trains a day coming through this area, which it's nothing like that today, so it just was fascinating to me. Some of the information he passed on to me was that this place opened in 1901. It was owned by the Wabash Train Company, I guess is what you called it. And this was their central hub, their facility, like, so it was a freight line company, but it was their central facility until 1964. And in 1964, Norfolk Southern bought the place and was here until 82 or 83. And then I guess we had 2 years here in Decatur that Amtrak actually ran through Decatur and went to Chicago. And in 1985 was the last passenger train that left the area. So I had just a couple minutes of chatting, and I had to share that information with you guys. I found it fascinating, and it's so cool to me that a gentleman that worked here back in this heyday as a train depot, you know, came back to work here today, as we get to relive the past and just come wander around. And who doesn't remember, you know, painted glasses like this from McDonald's from their childhood? There's an Alvin and the Chipmunks one. And antique malls apply for everyone. Maybe it's the Funk's hybrid sign that takes you back to the farm when you were a kid. Maybe it's an old vintage purse. Hey, that's not Halloween, but we got a Thanksgiving sign. I don't know if that one may be a newly hand-painted one. I'm not sure. I am the treat. We'll classify that as Halloween. I'm curious. You know there's somebody out there that wore a Flamin' Hot Cheetos hoodie and wore it proud. Who that was? I want to meet that man or woman. Halloween, found another. Did anybody not have this Tupperware for a cake? I guess back in the 50s and 60s, it was a thing that everybody brought tall cakes to events. Because I can say in my life, well, you know really what it is. In my adult life, if I brought a cake to something, which is not very often, I just went to Kroger or Menards. I went to Kroger or Walmart and bought it. That's really what it boils down to. I never watched The $6 Million Man, but if that show was on in my time, I probably would have liked it, I bet. This is $25 for this Tonka truck. This is an old school. Now, I don't need toys, but like, I kind of just want this to put in my garage. But you know, like a little kid, like they might, who knows? I wonder what little kids would truly think, like if we got them our toys from our childhood. I wonder what they would think of that. I gotta fix this though. This is driving me nuts. I can't. It won't go down. I'm definitely not going to leave the one that breaks it. It's upside down. I still want it though. Anyways, moving on. What is this? This is a laser engraving machine. That's cool. Are rollerblades still a thing? I remember when I got my first set of rollerblades. I like seriously felt like it was the coolest Christmas present ever. Like it could have cost $500 if for all I knew. I was so pumped to get rollerblades. And then I found out how bad I was at using them, and I didn't get much use out of them after that. So this is what the building used to look like. And I was being told earlier that tower, that steeple, got struck by lightning twice in the 50s, and so they decided to take it down. 4 times.
4 times.
It was struck by lightning 4 times.
That's this building. That was the Illinois Central that was over there.
Illinois Central, okay. I was trying to comment on that, yeah. That building, I couldn't remember who owned that one.
North and south, east and west.
That's crazy. Hey, we got a train going by right now. Yeah, he was giving me a little bit of a history lesson. I was trying to remember everything because I definitely was enjoying it.
Marbles original, the floors were original, terrazzo office. Yes.
Their central office, yeah. So I feel like nobody's putting the money in for like that green marble and stuff like that, you know, and structures anymore. So
Amtrak took over. They painted all that pea green color.
Oh really?
It all be stripped out of it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
That's the Illinois Central one. It's a full picture of it.
Oh, that's okay. That's the building that was next door. That's a full picture of what it looked like. Lots of cool toys in here. Yep. Another little fun token of information is I was just talking to the owner and asked because the 86 Super Bowl champions, 85 Bears, but Obviously, they would have won the Super Bowl in '86. Anyways, I was asking the owner about, you know, I've heard rumors that this place is haunted, and he said he hasn't experienced anything himself, but there are several accounts of a gentleman in, I think it was a brown suit coat, who would come from one office upstairs here, or one office area. He kind of pointed in the direction of where we're at right now, and be seen walking down towards another, and then into that office area. Obviously, these would have, when this was a train depot, train office, train headquarters. You know, this wouldn't be all open up here. This would be a central hallway, I'm sure, and these would be office areas. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was how heavily they marketed and were on commercials. When I come in these places, for me, a lot of times these McDonald's items, these McDonald's cups and toys, they're what really just trigger those, you know, nostalgic feelings. I think it's because they were constantly on TV, like the commercials for them. And I mean, I don't think my family like ate at McDonald's a crazy amount, like more than, I mean, I guess everybody in America, we've probably all eaten our fair share of McDonald's, but we didn't eat out all that much. At least I don't feel like we did. I feel like I do remember this clock, though, for some reason. This scrubbing bubbles thing. Maybe not, but it's interesting as how the years go by. Antique malls merchandise kind of changes as well. Like, I feel like there's a lot more 70s, 80s, 90s stuff, and maybe not quite as much 50s and 60s or before that. Bunch of Lion King merchandise, and it does look original. It looks like, you know, this is all probably from when the movie first came out, summer 1994. Excuse me. A video cassette case, 10-pack. It's kind of funny what random things you'll find in antique malls, but I mean, that's history. I don't think anybody's looking for those anymore, but you know what? You probably haven't seen one in years and years. Annabelle. You know the horror movie Annabelle? The doll is an Annie doll. Is that what those were called? I can't remember now. I'm drawing a blank. Yes. Raggedy Ann. That's what it was. Raggedy Ann and Andy. That's what I was told anyways. Like, they make it a super creepy looking doll in the movie, but that's actually what they were. It's a Raggedy Ann. So, is your Raggedy Ann doll haunted? There's some vintage Halloween for you. Did all of our grandmas have one of those? I feel like everybody's grandma had one of those. This is what my parents always hunted for. It's funny because when I was a kid, I hated the antique mall. They were always looking for certain pottery and dishware sets because they were collecting a set. It didn't look like it was Hull. Hull, I think is how it was spelled. And I don't know, I think they just wanted to have a collection of something. I'm not sure why they were into it, but they always were hunting for a certain thing of pottery. But I had nothing I liked about antique malls. But now I'm an old person too, and now I can relive my childhood when I come through them. If you still have a landline phone, have a phone in style. Go with a Mickey phone. I think I will, for the rest of my life, look at Barbie doll houses as competition. And if you don't understand that reference, go back to my very first videos, my very first set of videos, and then it'll make sense for you. 1982 World's Fair. What was your favorite Star Trek series? And which is better, Star Trek or Star Wars? I love them both. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and a lot of people hate this when I say it, but I think Voyager was my favorite. At least in the time, it definitely was. I went back and watched Voyager a couple years ago, and I gotta say I didn't love it as much. I might have been more of a Next Generation fan today, or possibly even Deep Space Nine. This says it's a jar with lid. It looks to me like an urn. I think it is an urn. I don't think I ever saw these specific glasses, this pattern, but it definitely reminds me of glasses that would have been in my grandma's house. This is probably original. The original Halloween buckets. I know they sell remakes of these now, but and maybe these ones were just from a year or two ago and somebody brought them in here. You never know. But I'm just gonna roll with it and assume, since we are in an antique mall, they're originals. Alright guys, I've had a lot of fun in here. It's time to head on down the road. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to think that there was a building, that's all that's left of it, is that little ivy covered building there, and that this whole area was just packed. Quite the hubbub. So I wanted to super quick, we're just down the road from the Wabash train depot. There's the Firehouse flea market here. Unfortunately they're closed on Monday, Tuesday, and on Monday and Tuesdays, so they're closed today. It's a cool flea market. It's an old, I was told, Firehouse number 2. It's an old fire station. And as you see in their front window right here, they got some Halloween decorations. So we can't go in there today, but just wanted to give them a shout out. So for perspective, right there is the Wabash train depot. Here's Firehouse flea market. Around the corner here is Redmann's Furniture. It's an old antique and furniture shop. Definitely got more of a used furniture feel than anything, so I'm not going to go in there today because I'm really just kind of doing a lot of reminiscing and whatnot. And then this building, I don't remember if it goes all 3 floors, but it's an antique mall or antique store. Never Forgotten Thymes shop. We're going to go in there in a minute if they are cool with it. And so all these are right within a block of each other. And I wanted to point out right here, NFT, underground flea market and antiques. Come here on a Saturday. This I don't know what year this building was made in, but it's old. And you literally go down this ramp into this door that feels like a dungeon right here. And the ceiling is low. It's super dark in there. It feels like, I mean, it's an underground flea market, and it feels every bit like it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a cool environment and feeling. It's big. The one time I've been there, it was real busy, but I almost felt like in Demolition Man when they go underground and they find Dennis Leary's character and they're kind of walking, like, I don't know. That might not make sense, but it was so weird to me. But it's really cool, and you never know what you're gonna find in there. So they're closed today, as the sign says. I think they're only open on Saturdays. But yeah, it's a very, very cool. I mean, just look at the entrance. That's the entrance, guys, right there. So check it out sometime. So anyways, let's see if we can go in here to Never Forgotten Thymes. So yeah, this is right when you come in the shop, guys. Pretty cool entrance here, very unique. and it didn't even dawn on me. I was just talking about the flea market NFT. These people own the same place, Never Forgotten Thymes. That's what the NFT stands for. I wanted to apologize to you guys for cutting the sound out of some of these clips. Just trying to keep the YouTube music police off my back. This tackle box makes me think of my childhood, like just having a small little plastic tackle box. Nowadays I think everything has to be so high-tech and complicated sometimes. Well, how about that? We're looking for Halloween stuff today. 57 Peggy paper doll. Apparently she had a Halloween outfit where she was got the jack-o'-lantern. It's Gumby. That's fun. That's a pretty cool mural. I don't even know. Guess it's a window frame? I don't know. That's interesting. Bunch of old records. Oh, it's a bunch of VHS tapes. I like that. That's really cool. It's like, I think that's a metal, like aluminum or something. What is this Mickey Mouse thing here? Sprinkler. Oh, it's a watering can. Now I just got done over at the Wabash Train Depot talking about like how there seems to be more 70s and 80s antiques. Not always true. We definitely have some really old stuff here. That's definitely not 70s or 80s. Nor that. I just have a hard time imagining like that age and time where like this is your kitchen, you know, cupboards and countertops, and I don't know why. It's probably more practical. You have this metal tabletop here you can work with. I love this giant. So we have a bread box because our cats love to eat bread, like even eat through the plastic if you leave bread on the counter. I would love to have like that pull down cupboard or whatever you want to call it so that you could hide everything behind it. So I had to backtrack a little bit because these places are often like a maze. I got to the end of the line. And so now we are back when we came into the second building. So you get a little bit of everything. This shop right here, this is Kate's Corner. It's not as much antiques. I mean, there's some antiques in here, but just a little bit of everything. Is this hand carved? So I guess those pieces obviously were added. It took my eyes a second to understand what I was looking at. That's a cool piece. But is it as cool as this phone? Dude, I like want this phone. Can we bring back house phones just because, so we can put stuff like that in our house? This bell caught my eye. I don't know the year, I don't know if it came from a school or like a factory, but it's neat. Is this a club for beating people? Probably not. It says something about golf, Elks Golf. What would they have used that for? I doubt it's for beating people. that's kind of the fun answer, isn't it? Belt buckles. If there's one thing I'm not going to do it because I have a tiny little house, but if there's, I remember these glasses. That definitely has childhood memories written all over it. Okay, back to the question I was asking you guys. If there's one item I was hypothetically going to start a collection of that you would find at flea markets and antique malls, and not like all the same, not like Mickey Mouse, like okay, since I've seen two today that were pretty cool and I've talked about them. Telephones. And that's the only thing on my brain now because I saw two very unique telephones. Halloween, vintage Halloween. We're still on that hunt. I'm pointing them out when I notice them. So what would that item be? What would you guys like to see me collect? That is a random piece that, as I would find random ones, I would have to keep. Random old shoes? Definitely not. Would I be looking for random Christmas ornaments? Tree decorations? No. Because we buy a new ornament. Everybody picks a new ornament on our Christmas tree every year at our house. And we get a new yard ornament every year. I want to be one of those guys, you know. I want to be one of those houses that my address is listed on Facebook. Because, you know, at Christmas time, you know, when you go driving around and you go look at all the really lit up and decorated houses in town, I want to be one of those guys that are like, hey, you need to go to that house. Just because, not because I'm trying to get the attention, but because I love Christmas. I love Christmas decorations. I love environments that suspend reality, you know. Winter wonderlands. I love that's why I like theme parks. What does that have to do with flea markets and antique malls? I have no clue. Nothing. Now, my grandma absolutely had this cookie jar. Totally that exact one. Maybe not this one, but same design and everything. Isn't it cool how when you come to these places you find something and it's like, yeah, my grandpa or so-and-so had this. Maybe somebody's grandparents had this Pink Panther cookie jar. Mine did not, but they had that one. Are you looking for a bicycle frame? I know a couple guys that actually refurbish bikes, like BMX bikes. I don't know if this is one of them. I don't know if that's a BMX bike, but hey, if you're looking for a frame to like refurbish, there you go. I definitely played with Lincoln Logs as a kid. Hubcap. What about some old Cadillac hubcaps? $100. I thought they would be fun, and somebody might need those and would pay. If I'm remodeling a Cadillac, I'd buy them, but just to have for fun, no, I'm not spending that. Not myself, at least. There's another Mickey phone. I was looking for a potato masher last night. You know, I use my blender, my hand blender, and I'm like, why don't we just have a potato masher? I should just buy this one at $6. I was about to walk out and leave. I've been here before, and I'm like, I know there was an upstairs. And so then I saw some signs that said furniture room 1, main floor, furniture room 2. So I started following the signs. It almost got me, guys. It's a black door. It says right on it, enter. It almost got me. I almost went right past. So let's check out the furniture room. I think you get to see a little bit more of this building in these furniture rooms as well. Just how old it is. Old furniture is really cool too. I like the flea market stuff, but chairs. $10. Little. Wouldn't it be fun to get your little kid just one of these little old school chairs for $10? We went to a place not too dissimilar from this. I actually made our kitchen. Well, I used an old like 90s kitchen table and did like a wood top on it. And then for chairs, because I just got the table, we went to a place not too dissimilar to this and found old schoolhouse wooden chairs and bought them and cleaned them up. And then we bought some seat cushions, some like, you know, vinyl covered seat cushions from wherever, Amazon or something. So they're comfortable to sit in, and it's unique and They were actually cheaper than buying new stuff. You know, it was kind of fun. Old sewing machines, metal filing cabinets, this curved glass. Like, I wonder how, man, that couldn't be easy to make. Look at the electronics in this, the tubes, and how big and open that case is. All for a radio, Zenith. Then you have this chute. I presume that was for like, when it, who knows what this building was. Somebody knows, not me. But, you know, did they shoot things down that from the top floor to the bottom floor? What kind of things did they toss down it? And then you have this old, these are so cool, these old elevators. Look at those wooden beams. Who else gets a kick out of old buildings like this? I love finding the old stuff. We've been talking about the old stuff all day. But, you know, then you get to walking around and get to check out buildings. The structure, the creaks in the floor, that sign. I'm guessing there was a W on there. Wrestling stuff. Like, you know, you buy that and put it on your shop or something. Very cool, unique advertising. Plenty of cool stuff. Well, guys, that's gonna do it for today. Hopefully this was a nice, relaxing, you know, just trip down memory lane for you. I love these places. I love this little area of town. Unfortunate I couldn't show you the underground flea market. It's the 1st, 3rd, and if there is a 5th Saturday of the month. So it's every other Saturdays when they have this flea market. It's something worth checking out. So anyways, that's going to do it for today. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.